Southeast Asian nations are stepping up aid delivery efforts to the Philippines. Indonesia has pledged $2 million in cash and emergency supplies and will send an aircraft there today. Malaysia is giving $1 million in humanitarian aid and sending a rescue and relief team to Tacloban. And Singapore has donated $200,000 in cash so far. Singapore Armed Forces today also says it will send $120,000 worth of relief supplies to the Philippines. And the Singapore Civil Defence Force team is in Tacloban to help with the UN rescue efforts. Well, Singapore Red Cross volunteers will leave for affected areas tomorrow to help with the distribution of relief items. And I have with me in studio Lim Theam Poh, Deputy Secretary General of the Singapore Red Cross, to tell us more about the operation. So, Mr. Lim, thank you for coming in today. So let's start off with your donation drive. I heard you got a huge boost today.
Right, you are absolutely right. We got a big boost this morning. We have Oxley Holding, who pledges a dollar for dollar matching for what we collect from Singaporeans, up to a cap of 1 million Singapore dollars.
Wow, that is very encouraging news. And you guys launched a dedicated fundraising appeal on Monday. How's the response been so far?
The response has been overwhelming, really. We started on Monday the dedicated response for Haiyan, and up till yesterday evening, we collected close to 145,000 Sing dollars, wow. And more to come in. We have not counted the checks that people posted in. These are walk-in donors, and it's very gratifying to note that these donors are ordinary men and women of the street. You know, they are not people with suit and ties, but just the normal everyday Singaporeans walking in, giving us small donations, large donations. But what noticed that strikes me was the willingness to give, the compassion of giving was there. And it is very heartening and gratifying for us working at the Red Cross to see Singaporeans responding in this manner.
So every little bit counts.
Right, absolutely. And the boost that came this morning was a great morale booster, because, I mean, it's a dollar for dollar matching, and assuming we raise one meal, it is automatically one more meal to come in. And that translates to being empowering us or enabling us to sort of buy more, get more, to serve the people who are in need of food and etc.
Actually, on that topic of cash, you're specifically asking for cash donations instead of donations in kind, right. For example, clothes or blankets. Why is this?
Well, you see, there is always this logistical problem that people forget, you know. You can bring the thing, collect it from Singapore. How are you going to send it to your destination? Well, okay, we can say you can pay for air freight, you can pay for sea freight, but there is port to port. Okay. The port is miles away from the disaster zone, and reports indicated that even the normal road is damaged by mudslide, landslides, etc. So how do people get the blankets, the rice that you send all the way there to your destination? So
you're appealing for cash because it's a much more efficient way of getting the help there, because you
and
can buy
the needs are ever changing. You know, we are at the first 4 days of the disaster. The news are trickling in very slowly. People are not very sure what is really needed. So they give the first-hand account of what they hear and so on. And then people will react and say, oh, they're short of rice, so we buy more rice, you know. But lo and behold, we get a new report to say it is not rice that we wanted something else. And what do you do with the extra rice that you have bought?
True. So, Mr. Lim, your first team of volunteers is leaving tomorrow. Where are they headed?
Oh, they are heading, we are going to land at Cebu first. And from Cebu, we are going to talk to our counterparts in the Philippine Red Cross. Our ultimate aim is to go to Tacloban, but we have a few options. Should the place be not really accessible, we have an alternative site, which is at Omok, on the southwestern part of Tacloban. You know, that is the second largest city in Leyte Island. So we do have Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C.
Of course, you have many backup plans. So, Mr. Lim, one last question before you go. You always welcome volunteers. So, for those who want to help, how can they?
Well, the volunteer response has also been very good. But what we need most now is the normal volunteers to paste stickers on the tins.
Okay.
People are collecting money. We need the donation tins to be pasted with our logo and to denote that these are official tins and so on and so forth. So volunteers to do the very mundane tasks, manning the hotlines, and we have introduced a very interesting feature called Restoring the Family Link. It is a form of like a tracing service to enable Filipinos in Singapore who may not have been in contact with their loved one back home.
To try to get people connected.
We try to get them connected. And this is a service that the Red Cross is proud to do, and we know it is very meaningful when you see people are being reunited after a long period of separation.
Very encouraging, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lim.
Thank you.
And that was Mr. Lim from the Red Cross and what the Singapore Red Cross is doing to help typhoon victims in the Philippines.